Shalom Vacha. We're in the portion Emor. Tell to the Kohanim, the priests. I'm very happy to host with me my colleague, my friend from Ascent, and really Mordechai, his seniority than me here in Ascent, and he really helps me with all those portions of the week in English and guiding me. And today I'm so happy to host him.
Free translations.
Yes, host me with us. So I think it's going to be as well good fun. So let's get into the portion of the week. So Emor Amarta, Emor, and you should tell to the Kohanim. In Hebrew, there is two words to say, to tell, daber or emor. Daber is more to speak to. Emor is to tell to someone. Telling someone.
More of a command.
It's more of a command.
Right.
But when you're commanding, there's two ways to command. In a harsh way, a hard way, speak to daber el bnei Israel. Speak to the Israelites. Tell them that and that and that. But there is a more, it's a soft language. Here the Lubavitcher Rebbe is telling us an amazing insight and guidance.
Right.
In every relationship that we're facing, at work, with the family, with my partner, with friends, if you want to pass someone a message, you want to tell him something like it's a command, try to say it in a soft way. I know it's hard. It's the hardest.
And then it will also be received in a way that you will be able to receive it back in the way you want it to be received.
Beautiful. Exactly. You see, it's better to do it like in tune. I hope he'll be around when I'm recording. So we find it in every relationship. More than that, it's like when you say to someone something in a gentle way, you're encouraging him to cooperate with you. He would like to be there for you.
You're not pushing him away. You're giving him an opening that he can come in and do, in the end, that you see that in marriage also and things with people, that if you have a good relationship, then you can ask for anything, and no matter what you're asking for, you'll be received in a very beautiful way.
Amazing. So God is telling to Moses to say Emor to the priests. Why? Because he's going to talk about the prohibition of the
Sorry,
impurity.
we're teaching him, it's okay.
Yeah, prohibition of the impurity of the priest, and those things of the Kohen.
Right.
And this is above mind. It's something that you cannot really grasp.
It's not rational.
Exactly. It's not rational. Thank you. It's not rational. So it's talking to something, to our belief, to our faith. So God is approaching in a soft way, so it will be acceptable with the other side. Further into this portion of the week, God is giving us the commandments about our holidays. Moadim, Moed, holidays. He talks about Passover, Shavuot, Sukkot, Rosh Hashanah, Yom
Which is
Kippur.
actually very appropriate, because we're counting now the days between Passover and Shavuot, and then before you turn around, it's going to be Rosh Hashanah time, and then you got the holidays there, so it's a beautiful cycle there.
Beautiful. And when you're talking about cycle, Mordechai, when I discovered Judaism and I came after learning different philosophies, I realized that there's a beautiful rejuvenation with the cycles of the Moed, of the holiday, because each holiday have its own essence and its own way of guideline with your inner work, with refining yourself. So you constantly, you don't feel like bored with the wisdom, because when you're going deep into the meaning of the holidays, you're going into a cycle that you're renewing yourself.
Right.
And the end of the portion of the week, it talks about lechem apanim. How do you say lechem apanim?
Showbread.
Showbread. I would never figure
Forget it.
that
That's
out.
no, you can't know. There's no way you can know that.
No way. Okay, so
12 loaves of
Twe-
showbread.
okay, loaves you say, of
Yes,
challah,
yeah.
loaves. So lechem apanim, and how the
And that's why
kohanim-
actually people bake challahs today. You see women bake with that same idea. They bake, 6 on one side and 6 on the other side, and they have lechem apanim.
face to face.
Yeah, they have the
facing
showbread.
each other.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So, and in the end of the portion of the week, God is talking about maintaining the Shabbos, and he's bringing this story about one of the Israelites that his name is familiar, and there was some like frictions with him in the past. We're not going to mention his name or get into it, but he's not keeping the Shabbos. And then he's putting over for a trial, and then he's being sentenced, and God is finishing his portion, this portion, by saying eye to eye, teeth to teeth. That's how you say it, like
Tooth for tooth.
okay, eye for an eye. And usually we
But we have to make a clarity there that it's only for people who really know what it's about. It's not for people
Exactly.
who are innocent and don't know. There's obviously no punishment. There's no retribution for that because the person is innocent. But for somebody who knows, so there are repercussions for that.
And I say it more in a street language. I remember myself like in my youth, that my child, okay, eye for an eye. You took my eye out, I'll take your eye out. No, no, no. People, that's not what the Torah is guiding us for. It's a big mistake. If someone his eye been damaged, or his hand or his teeth, it doesn't mean that you're going to take the other person's eye out. No, 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 no. It means that you're going to pay
It's a
for the
monetary
damage.
thing.
A monetary thing. It's like
Right.
you're going to value the damage that happened, and it's all in the halacha.
It's just like workers' compensation. It's just like
Exactly.
people get
That's the word.
compensation.
Exactly.
Compensation at work for it also.
So now we
Yeah.
know, if we hear like eye for an eye, he did to me that, I'm going to do to him the same.
Watch out.
Watch out. Okay, so let's return to the beginning of the portion, and let's like go a bit in and try to see. We're going to talk today about 3 levels of education. We are in Sfirat HaOmer. We're preparing ourselves to receive the Torah. Really, it's all about education.
Self-refinement.
Exactly. Self-refinement, and first to educate yourself. But we're going to talk about 3 stages. So it says in the pasuk, Aaron, it says, Emor el hakohanim bnei Aaron ve'amarta elehem. Emor, tell to the sons of Aaron, ve'amarta. There is a repetition of 2 verbs. Emor, tell. What is it over there, Mordechai?
It's Rashi brings down, a famous commentator, that he's talking about the idea that since in Hebrew is a very exact language, so the double use of this word, which is both connected with telling and with giving a command to that it says it's to give able to warn the elders on the youth, on the young people. And it's a very special thing because it's the whole portion is really focused on that, and this is something that people talk about generation gaps. This is something really connected with that in a certain way, that the two levels have to be connected one to the other.
And we do understand that all this life that we're in, all this journey, it's one big relationship of us and the Creator, and between us people. So it's amazing that you're saying that there is like elders and there's youth. It's good to be mindful and aware that sometimes in every relationship, sometimes with my friends, with my colleagues to work, with my neighbors, like sometimes I'm in front of my son or daughter, and sometimes I'm in front of my mate, we need to remember there that sometimes you are an elder and sometimes you are youth. Elder in what? Zaken bedat. En ela zaken bedat. Elders meaning that they bought more wisdom. Their life experience is higher than you. Like as we open this portion, like Mordechai is elder than me, seniority,
Right.
then I in ascend. So there are topics that I will come and I'll consult him and I'll be the little one. I'll be the youth, meaning youth in knowledge.
To be more receiver,
Amazing.
as opposed to somebody who's actually the giving the influence over, giving the flow over, but to be the one who's receiving it, it means that you're in the beginning stages and you have to receive and not be the one to give over.
You, I hope you'll agree with me, Mordechai, when I'm saying, when you're saying to be a receiver, you need to go to such a self refinement with yourself. How you'll go to self refinement with yourself? When you will remember that in every relationship, and all life are relationship, be mindful. Maybe this person in front of you is elder than you in knowledge. And in order to be a receiver, you need to work on your ego. And when you're reminding your animalistic soul, hey, wait, you're youth, you're young here, maybe you have something to tell you, to educate you, to guide you, to show you something.
That's always been the challenges over the years with youth and young people. They always say, when a kid is little, he needs you. When he starts to get older, he listens to you sometimes he doesn't listen to you. When he gets to be a teenager,
Papa, talk,
when
yes.
he gets to be a teenager, then he doesn't listen to you. And when he gets to be married and gets older, then he needs you again. So it's like a whole cycle that's going on with it. And there's no question that it takes humility, sensitivity, but it also means that this is the cycle of life that people go on. Give and take is something that we have between us all the time. Me and Ayal do it all the time, that we go back and forth with that give and take.
So, really, it's good to remind ourselves when we out there in the streets, in the bus, in the drive, maybe this person is elder than I in wisdom. It's a good work. It's like a practice on our own ego. It's a process of self-refinement. When you're coming into a situation, try to be first in the listening side, in the receiving side.
Yes.
Then you will really see the other person. Maybe he's higher than me. Great. Give him the power. Give him the respect. And when we're remembering it and we're really practicing it, yeah, hopefully we can take it really into our life.
But there's a saying in the Torah that says of a great teacher that he said, I learned from my teacher, I learned from my colleagues, but I learned most from my students.
Beautiful.
And that's a tremendous humility, to
Yes.
say, I learned most from my students. Most people think, well, who am I? I'm a big professor to learn from my students. No, but you got to be a little bit humble and realize that everybody has something to learn from, and God willing, you should learn from them.
You know what I want to say on that? Well, I want to comment on that? Amen, brother.
That's it. There's no.
All right.
You should do it. Yes.
So we'll give you just a little bit more because it's a beautiful sicha, conversation of the Lubavitcher Rebbe about that the Torah is mentioning in 3. Now correct my English, okay? Please help me when you see me doing a mistake. Like 3 times that the Torah is mentioning that we need to warn the elders upon the youth, the minors. Meaning you need to come, if we're wrapping it up, and more, say it in a soft way, even if you're an elder person. Even if you know more than the other, the other person tried to
Don't
say
abuse your authority.
exactly. That's a beautiful word. So our wise ones, Chazal, are saying that the Torah mentioning 3 times that we need to warn the elders, meaning to educate the minors. Prohibition about eating insects. Prohibitions about eating or drinking the blood out of the meat. And prohibition about the impurity of the Kohen, the priests.
Right.
Those 3 times I'm trying to indicate something. It's not just in a relationship between me and a fellow person, it's even within myself. In a way, the Torah is trying to tell us do not give up in those 3 situations. What does it mean prohibition about not eating an insect? When someone is eating insects, meaning that he's really in a low place, meaning that when you're seeing someone that really he's being so rude, he reached such a low place, maybe you can get into a desperation, like you can give
People
up
always
from
say, you are
educating
what
us.
you eat.
Exactly.
You are what you eat. So, what are you? An insect? You're
Exactly.
a bug. You're crawling on 4 legs. You know, it's like it's. People would say it's disgusting, but
Exactly. So if you find someone that he in his life is in a disgusting place, the Torah is trying to tell us do not give up on him. Meaning that if you see your man, your wife, your child, your friend at work in a low place like eating insects, do not give up on him. You can still guide him. You can still direct him to the right place. The second time, it's about prohibition about eating the blood. The Israelites
drinking the blood.
drinking the blood. Sorry,
Drinking the blood. Yeah.
the Israelites in the desert, they were used to before that in Egypt to eat, to drink the blood.
The blood. Yeah.
Meaning they got used to it. It become like a pattern. Then the Torah is coming again. The Lubavitcher Rebbe is saying amazing. You can see sometimes a person in bad patterns, in wrong patterns. You know that he's really got used to something. So maybe you can think with yourself, he already got used to it. You know, he's for years he behaved the way he behaved. And as well with yourself. You think that there's certain patterns that you cannot correct. You cannot come out of it, coming out of your own Egypt, coming out of your own ego. Do not give up. If the Torah is guiding us over there as well, you can guide yourself out. It's not the place right now to describe
That's
this.
a long discussion.
Exactly, the inner
discussion.
work, how a person bring himself out of his patterns. This you're most welcome to come visit us in Ascent,
Right,
or visit us
definitely.
in like seminaries around the country, etc. The third thing,
But the blood is a very powerful thing because blood is something that actually makes people over aggressive. It makes people get very condescending and people get very negative. It makes people have animalistic drives that are not really in tune with who this person is. But that's why we have to be careful about not drinking it, so we don't want to get our nature to become too animalistic.
beautiful. The third time that the Torah is mentioning that you should warn, you should lighten the other person. Lehazhir in Hebrew, meaning to lighten the other person, to warn him, but to warn him in a soft word and
To enjoin him.
to enjoin him.
To
Exactly.
enjoin him, right.
To enjoin him, it's about the prohibition of the impurity of a Kohen. The impurities of the Kohen is something that is not rational, yeah? That we say it's not for the mind. So sometimes a person can face in his inner journey, in his self-refining process,
Right.
places that he think that with the mind I cannot. It's not logic. It's not logic to do it. Do not think with your mind. Attend to the belief, to this pure essence of belief and faith that's within you, you could elevate out of your bad or wrong situation, or the lower place that you are at.
Don't limit yourself.
Exactly, beautiful, thank you. And the other thing is when you think that you can educate others and guide others only with things that do it attend to the logic. No, the Torah is guiding us. What is the Torah? The Torah is the book of God. Torah is the wisdom of the above, is the divine wisdom and the divine will. The Torah is telling you no. Don't think that education or to educate someone or to guide someone wouldn't help in places that it's not logical and go with the mind. No, believe in it that you can guide a person. Do not give up, because within every Jew, deep in his heart, deep in his essence, is a believer. He believes and he have faith, and all that you have to do is to reveal that essence that within him, that depth. And now,
And also to be a good role model. To be a good role model and
Yes.
show him. The best is not even saying anything, just sees who you are, and immediately he's looking at you too as an example. Say,
Beautiful.
this is what my father does. This is what my friend does. And this way, this is what I see what the right way is to do things.
Beautiful. But honestly, we said like those 3 levels of that maybe a person can give up either on himself or with his friend. But we ask, where do we have the power to do that? Do I have the power? I've got the power. Do I have the power?
You got
to
the
come?
power, man.
Well, dear people, if we say that the Torah is the wisdom and will of the divine, listen to this. It's very refined, this guideline, this guidance that the Rebbe is giving us. The Rebbe is saying like that, if the Torah is commanding us to do something, it's not just hora'ah. How do I say hora'ah?
It's not just a directive.
It's not just a directive that this thing is possible, but the commandment itself
It's a teaching in life.
is a teaching in life and gives you the power to do this commandment, to do this work. Because why? Ask yourself why. Because God wouldn't give you something that you
It's
cannot,
not in your grasp.
that is not in your grasp, in your powers.
Right.
Beautiful. And from that we understand that when God is trying to tell us that you can do a certain work, you can elevate from your bad patterns, from places that you find yourself so rude, so low, something that do not belong to the mind, to open this belief and faith. If he asks from you, if he tovea, how do you say tovea?
If he demands from
If
you.
he demands that from you, meaning that he gives you as well the power to do so.
And he gives you also the ability to do it, and that you can do it. And we got to mention Ayal that we want everybody to come up for Lag BaOmer.
Yeah.
We want everybody to join us for Saturday Night
Yeah.
Fever in Maroon.
Exactly.
That's it. We're gonna have a big party here, and you're gonna want to party with 500,000 people there. And this is it. You got to come to Ascent, and we're gonna take you to Maroon and have an amazing time.
Beautiful. I
You'll
just
never
want to
forget
tell
it.
you, we're already full. You can meet us next to the barbecue. See you in the next portion.
Okay. Oh, well, we're best.